Imagine that, Zach. That would be so.
That's why, thankfully, with Digital Blood, you can kind of get away with that now.
Yeah,
because Digital Blood is getting better.
Now, this movie, Ready or Not, this was in my top 3 theatrical experiences of the year. I had this, I think, at number 3 on my list. I just had so much fun with it. Yep, number 3, I had it. Just watching, I wish I could tell the ending, but just this, I like the guy from Orphan Black just staring at his phone, being like, "You idiots!" Like when you remember he's joking around with his buddies. You have just some of the maids getting killed. Just, I thought Samara Weaving, I like her a lot in Babysitter. I think she's an actress to watch. I had so much fun with this movie.
I think this movie lives and dies on her performance, and her performance, she knocks it out of the park.
Now you had this at number 13. How come it didn't crack your top 10? Because I like the other ones more.
I had a lot of fun with this movie, and I loved Samara Weaving in it. I am a fan of the Radio Silence guys. They did the last short in VHS with the haunted house, and they also did a found footage horror movie that I tend to think is pretty good called Devil's Due. But this is definitely their finest work, and I think a lot of the problems I had were technical ones where I could see like some of the limitations of the budget. Like the freneticism of the editing felt really forced at times. Like her dragging something is in like 15 different shots as if it's trying to hide like a lack of coverage.
Yeah.
And also I have one problem with the ending that I think only I have is that I wanted it to end 2 minutes earlier.
Oh, wow. Wait.
I wanted it okay, I'm just going to say this as vaguely as possible. When the sun rises and nothing happens, I thought that was a brilliant ending. I thought that was the best ending. And then I was still happy with what happened, but it would have cracked my top 10 if it just ended like that.
That would have been funny. You're right. But what's the best way to explain it that is an inside joke between you and I? I can't do it, but I still love how it went full bliss ending.
Yes.
Hey.
It did go bliss.
Thank you. Hey. Well, if you saw Bliss, you're angry at me, but not many people have watched it yet. So, but no, that makes, when I started laughing when that happened, but I love that. And actually that movie inspired me to write something that got me paid for an article for Cracked. So Ready or Not made me money.
I know. I find that too. Like if I write something about a film and it kind of unlocks something, I like that film better, despite whether it's, technically better than another film.
Yeah.
If it like brings something out of me I didn't know was kind of there.
It put cash in my pocket, so I'm happy.
There you go. So that's probably why I love The Last Jedi so much, because I think one of my favorite reviews is The Last Jedi.
What'd you write?
Oh, I mean, it's a paragraph. I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Oh, okay. All right, well, go to Letterboxd and you can read it.
Yeah. I'm a big Last Jedi stan, so I think I just lost half your audience.
Oh, no, man. There's Rian
Johnson.
Force Awakens was a remake. Rian Johnson came in and said, "I'm not playing in your sandbox, JJ. I'm not going Lost where I have to explain everything that you made the poor people explain in Lost. I'm killing your polar bear." And now JJ's back going, "I'm going back to what I did." Blows my mind.
All the sand is out of here. Let me sweep the sand back up.
Blows my mind. All right, hey, let's do one more, then we'll go on break. So our number 7 is Crawl. Alejandro Aja.
Crawl.
He tells the story of Haley and Dave, gator fans, dealing with gators, which is brilliant. That she's a swimmer for the Gators, UF, and she has to swim around gators.
That's some smart writing right there.
Yeah, but I love this movie, man. This movie made me so happy. I love creature features. I'm a big B-Pep fan. I like him punching gators. I liked Kayla Scodelario a lot. I love the dog.
I love not Samara Weaving very much in this. Yes.
Yeah, not Samara Weaving very much. I don't know. I just love
a great year for blonde heroines.
Oh, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Midsommar.
Yeah.
Dr. Sleep. No. What
Climax.
Climax. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that was a great year for her.
Yeah.
Considering. But like this movie, it's tough to just talk about because it's just a gator survival picture. But it should be worth talking about because it's a very good gator survival picture in a very limited space. This is not,
and it is a hell of a squirmer.
Yeah, it's you have a crawl space right under a house. You have a house, you have an upstairs, and then you have a gas station, and then you have a couple sewage pipes and a lair. That it's a very limited film to where it goes. But you would have hated watching this next to me because I would have been looking like, I don't know, what squirms a lot. I'd have been looking like that. You know those big things outside of car dealerships that blow in the wind? They're really tall.
Oh, the laughy, inflatable, arm flailing tube man.
Yeah, that would have been me.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. That was me while watching this movie. It just made me so happy.
It is just a tension machine. It's really good. And I like the CG gators. I think the gold standard for me, giant gator horror is Rogue from 2007.
Love that movie. McLean. That is
an underrated film. And I hope someone just like releases that for real. Shout Factory. Come on.
I've been writing a lot about it. I try to promote it whenever I can. I love Rogue.
But these gators were also really good looking, and they were very menacing. Nothing felt stupid. It's kind of the same movie as The Shallows.
Yeah.
It's a woman dealing with her parental issues while fighting a water monster. The movie.
I love both those pictures.
But The Shallows gets really dumb at the end.
When it spears itself?
It gets like it ran out of budget and it had to go to video game graphics and.
I love how mean that shark is, though. That's a mean shark.
That's a mean shark. And it has some glorious images and really badly acted bookends. This one has really good acting. So they improved on The Shallows by telling kind of the same story.
BPEP punching alligators. I love it.
Right. I did find that the geography of the crawl space was a bit muddy. No pun intended.
Was it literal? You mean literal and figuratively muddy?
Yes. Yes, very muddy. But that sometimes helped the suspense.
And murky?
And murky, yes. Also, it's a crawl space, not a basement, because there are no basements in Florida.
Yeah, I remember when you wrote that, you wrote some comment and people were hating on you for it, weren't they? Didn't you make a cheeky comment and people were like, yo, it's a crawl space?
Look, they have a rabid, fervent fan base, the Crawl fans. I like the movie a lot. It's number 8 on my overall list. I don't know. I think you rated it pretty high too.
Yeah, I ran to your house and I threw just a giant Chipotle burrito at your window and it just exploded after you made that comment about Crawl.
It's a crawl space. That's why they're calling it Crawl. They want you to know it's not a basement.
What if they just called it base?
It's a big old crawl space, but.
How about this? Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk 6 through 1. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And Zach, you currently have a crossbow in your hands, but you're in a dumbwaiter. How did you make that work?
I gotta tell you, it's very cramped in here.
So,
I wish I would have just gotten the knife.
Did you? Now, I'm pretty amazed that you brought your mic, your laptop, your earbuds. I mean, you're being hunted and you're prepared. I just want to say thank you again for this.
Look, you never know. Podcasts are happening left and right. You never know when you have to real quick record one.
So it's like Twilight Zone. There's a podcast. There's a podcast on the wing. They're recording something. I could quit on that.
I gotta follow that.
I could quit with that one, Zach.
Yeah.
That's my best bit of 2019 right there. Crushed it.
That's number 1 on this list.
Number 6 is because of you, Zach.
Yes.
You know why? Because I saw it on your list.
Because I wear dresses.
Yes.
Because I'm wearing a wedding dress right now.
You and I, oh yeah, and it's a size 16. It fits both of us perfectly.
Yeah, I'd fit in a 16.
So I was fixing my washing machine the other day, and I had to go to a 3/16 bolt. But then the Jackson line got broken. Then I had to go around to the back and get a wrench and fix it. But then I realized that because of the spin going on, I had to go on and re-screw the knobs on the front. But then I realized that it was overpowering the spin drive. But then the spin drive...
I couldn't visually... That's my sonic way of visually zoning out.
Your bathroom breaks are way too long. Zach. Watching Julian Barrett and Steve Oram, the guys from like Sightseers, Mighty Boosh, and Mindhorn, which is a very underrated movie. I love Mindhorn. Just getting on people for, getting on poor Sheila for her bathroom breaks was just, and I love this movie.
This is an absurd, wonderful horror comedy. It's inexplicable, like all the great classic midnight movies are. It's somewhat an anthology horror film, but it's very kind of bordering on high camp, but also you genuinely care about these characters.
I liked Babs. I liked Sheila. I liked Reg.
Mm-hmm.
I liked them all. And I interrupted you.
No, you're good. I think one of my favorite performances of the year is Fatma Mohammed. I'm probably saying that wrong. Who is the cashier at the shop in which the titular dress is purchased, and her performance is just glorious camp.
Miss Luckmore at Dentley and Super?
Yes, that's her. Yes. And I saw this movie all the way back in April at the Florida Film Festival. It has finally gotten a release on VOD and in select theaters. I'm not sure, but did you watch an unrated cut? Because I have not seen the unrated cut. That's apparently the one that's available.
I didn't have that option. I just rented the regular cut. But I mean, it still goes places.
Yeah, that masturbation scene with the mannequins and oh my.
What is that?
I was into that.
Yeah. And it was nice seeing Gwendolyn Christie not be a soldier.
Yes. I want to see her in other films, just, being the annoying girlfriend of
eating food and staying in the bathroom too long.
Mm-hmm.
She did do a mom a favor by not saying that she saw her in the peephole.
That's true.
I mean, that's good looking out.
In Fabric. I am a big Peter Strickland fan. This is one of his best films, but he hasn't really made a bad film to me. Barbarian Sound Studio was great. Duke of Burgundy was great. And now In Fabric is kind of a comedic departure, but not really if you are really watching Peter Strickland films. I'm really excited as to what he's coming out with next.
I want to wreck the ending, but I don't. I want viewers to experience it, but I have many questions for you. Many questions. But yeah, no, I
don't know if I can answer them because I saw it all the way back in April, and I want to watch it again.
Oh, it's so good. All right, number 5. I watched this movie, and you love it. It broke you. You said I watched it, and it slightly dented me. But then I started thinking about it, and I liked it a lot more. It's Ari Aster's Midsommar at number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this movie has the best bear stuffing since Wicker Man.
Yes. On the list of bear stuffing movies, this ranks high.
And any movie with Florence Pugh dancing in a circle, Little Women and this, is very highly rated and good.
Yes, Florence Pugh. Did she dance in a circle in Fighting with My Family?
Well, she fought in a no, that's a square. So there was no ring circle.
Sorry, it can't make the list then.
Yeah, I don't remember her doing circles in that movie. That's another 90% rated film.
I have not seen that movie. I hear it's pretty good, but after seeing her in Midsommar and her stealing every scene in Little Women, I am fully on the Florence Pugh bandwagon, and I want to watch everything she's in.
Well, you should, because it's a much different role. It's a much more physical role. So in Midsommar, she's dealing with grief and loss. In Little Women, she's just kind of the brat, right? Who's more there than you think.
And she does that same underbite, pouty look that is just, to me, iconic now.
Yeah, and then in Fighting with My Family, she's just, a British wrestler, a little ragamuffin who makes it big. And
I've never heard her actually talk. Is she British?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I think it's her act.
Oh man.
But she could be portraying.
She fooled me.
But she could be using like a Manchester as above, like, not like a London accent. She's that good. Oh, where in London do you live? On the south side? Oh, that's a completely different accent. I'll use that. But no, she's really good in that. But no, this Midsommar, it's just, I ended up laughing a lot.
It's a funny movie.
Yeah. I had some good, like that scene where, oh no, he left ahead of you. Why'd he leave? Oh no, he's in the van. Well, when am I going to leave? Oh no, he took off. And then you hear scream like, oh no, he left. He'll meet you there. Wait, what? Just that.